Volkswagen wants to show us that family hatchback driving enjoyment needn't be incompatible with full EV motoring, and for proof has established its GTX performance EV sub-brand with this car, the ID.4 GTX. It's an interesting confection. Whether it really works is another question.
It's nearly 50 years since Volkswagen started its near iconic GTI sub-brand with the Golf GTI in 1976. Along the way, there have been some offshoots from this winning hot hatch formula, like the diesel Golf GTD line that started in 1982, and more recently the plug-in hybrid Golf GTE line that began in 2014. What we have here, though, is by far the most significant of these: the birth of GTX, Volkswagen's all-electric performance brand. Here we have that badge attached to the first model introduced in that line, the ID.4 GTX, launched in 2021. You can have all the same battery mechanicals matched with slightly swoopier looks and an even higher price tag with the ID.5 GTX if you want. Either way, we're told that this is performance electric mobility combining sustainability and sportiness. Doesn't sound as exciting as we'd hoped. We can't help thinking that a dinkier, lighter ID.3 GTX would be a better platform for this approach, as the CUPRA Born has proved. But Volkswagen has yet to productionise a really fast ID.3, so let's look at what we have here. Golf GTI-like acceleration, the curb weight of a Land Rover Defender, a £50,000 price tag, and a futuristic mindset. Tempted? If you are, you'll need this review. This GTX model's powertrain formula isn't new to the market. Basically, the usual VW Group compact EV rear-driven formula is embellished with an extra motor on the front axle, which brings the twin benefits of extra power, a combined 299 PS output, and, with torque at both axles, all-wheel drive. Disadvantages lie with extra weight and a subsequent reduced driving range from the 77 kilowatt-hour usable capacity battery, the largest available for VW Group EV models of this size. That's rated at 309 miles, 19 miles less than the most efficient single-motor ID.4 variant. You'll find the same dual-motor mechanical formula in top versions of the Skoda Enyaq iV and the Audi Q4 e-tron and their coupe spin-offs. What's different here, though, is that Volkswagen has lowered the suspension for hot hatch duties, dropping it by 15mm over the standard models. Combine that with features you can have on a standard ID.4, an XDS differential for extra cornering traction, and, on the top ID.4 GTX Max variant, DCC adaptive damping, and the result is a surprisingly keen confection, aided by near-perfect 50-50 weight distribution, which is just as well given the fact that this car has to overcome the drawbacks of its enormous 2.2-tonne curb weight. That doesn't stop it being decently quick, mind you, 62 miles an hour dispatched in just 6.2 seconds. And cornering is helped by 20-inch wheels with wide 235 section front and 255 section rear tyres. You might be a touch disappointed to find that very little has been done visually to set this GTX model apart from its humbler ID.4 range stablemates. But then if that bothered you, your dealer would probably point you towards the more eye-catching, coupe-like ID.5 GTX model instead. Anyway, to a greater or lesser extent, aesthetic subtlety has always been one of the attractions of this sub-brand's GTI parent bloodline. It's cloaked here with a unique Yastad 20-inch wheel design, 21-inch rims are optional. These alloys drawing your attention to the lowered suspension. Plus, there are these 6 little point light LEDs in the lower front bumper, and you can have this car's special King's Red paint option borrowed from the Golf GTI. At the rear, as with other plush ID.4s, you get these 3D animated light clusters. It's even harder to tell this GTX model apart from other ID.4s inside, though there's GTX branding on the seats, and if you're determined to set this version apart, you can specify a blue dashboard insert with red stitching. Otherwise, it's the usual ID.4 cabin setup with a 12-inch Discover Max, central screen and a digital instrument cluster. At the back, there's comfortable space for a couple of adults. It'd be a squash for 3. And there's a very decently sized 543-litre boot, extendable to 1,575 litres with the rear seat folded. At the time of this test, in autumn 2022, ID.4 GTX pricing started from just under £53,000. That's for this standard model. You'll need just over £58,500 if you want the top GT Max version, which has standard DCC or dynamic chassis control, adaptive damping. To give you some range perspective, ID.4 pricing as we filmed started from just under £39,000. And if you really wanted the dual motor all-wheel drive powertrain, you could have it more affordably in an only slightly slower 265 PS Life Edition 77 kilowatt-hour variant, costing from just under £48,000. If you want the more coupe-like ID.5 GTX model, you need around £4,000 more than is required for this ID.4 GTX. Equipment features in the entry-level GTX run to 20-inch Yastad alloy wheels, black roof rails, matrix LED headlights, LED rear tail lamps with dynamic turn signals, a panoramic glass roof, auto headlamps and wipers, front and rear parking sensors and keyless entry. Drive stuff includes sports suspension, an augmented reality head-up display, adaptive cruise control, selectable driving modes, an exterior sound actuator and more direct progressive steering. Inside, the seats have GTX branding and there's a leather-wrapped heated multifunction steering wheel with touch control. You also get an auto-dimming rear-view mirror, a heated climate windscreen, heated front seats, 3-zone air care climatronic air conditioning with controls for rear occupants, a rear-view camera and interior ambient lighting with 30 colour options. Infotainment's taken care of by a 12-inch Discover Max navigation infotainment display with an upgraded Dynaudio stereo system. Plus, there's a wireless smartphone charger. Safety features include the usual autonomous braking front assist setup, plus lane assist, dynamic road sign display and a driver alert fatigue detection system. Plus there's lots of drive assist stuff too, Car 2X, intelligent vehicle networking, and for semi-autonomous highway driving, Volkswagen's travel assist, traffic jam assist and emergency assist system. As for options, well, most customers are probably going to want this test car's optional bi-colour style pack, which gives you a black roof with silver trim and roof rails. A ton of weight can be towed too if you specify this swivelling tow bar. Leave some extra budget aside too for the heat pump, which preserves driving range in the colder months and which Volkswagen insists on charging extra for. We gave you the driving range figure earlier, 309 miles. For this car's 77 kilowatt-hour battery, Volkswagen's engineered in 11 kilowatt three-phase AC and 125 kilowatt DC charging capability, equipping owners for the new generation of public rapid chargers that can't come soon enough for our market, updating a UK charging network that one Mercedes executive recently dismissed as a cowboy outfit, something you'll identify with if you live outside this country's major population centres. Volkswagen has done its best to help by providing its EV owners with a We Charge app that helps you find and use over 150,000 public charge points. At a DC-3 100 kilowatt charge point, it'll take no more than around 30 minutes to recharge your ID.4 with enough direct current to cover the next 137 miles. Using a 50 kilowatt DC charger, it'll take about an hour and a half to get an 80% fill. Back at home, an AC one-phase 7.2 kilowatt garage wall box would replenish this 77 kilowatt hour model from zero in about 12 hours, though you can almost halve that time if your property or business can support a gutsier AC3 11 kilowatt charger. At the other extreme, think in terms of needing to double the 7.2 kilowatt garage wall box charging times we've just quoted if you merely connect to a conventional 3-pin domestic socket. Insurance is Group 34E for the standard ID.4 GTX or 36E for the ID.4 GTX Max. If anyone was going to make an all-electric GTI style EV work, you'd put money on Volkswagen to do it. Maybe it still will. For now though, this doesn't feel like a car with any sort of GTI bloodline. And that doesn't mean you might not still want one, of course. If the current zeitgeist, or more likely your company fleet policy, has dictated to you that you have to have an EV, it has to be a hatch this size, and it needs to be properly sporty, there's quite a bit to like about the ID.4 GTX, though we'd find it difficult to ignore the fact that much the same money would get you similar sportiness in a more premium-feeling dual-motor Polestar 2, or longer range in an equivalent Tesla Model 3 performance. Neither of these cars, though, nail the visual hot hatch vibe quite as well as the ID.4 GTX. In its dynamic aspirations, it's hobbled by the massive curb weight that is currently common amongst EVs, but it does feel usefully more engaging to drive than the standard model, which means that folk planning to spend big on an ordinary ID.4 or ID.5 should consider a GTX. Otherwise, though, we'd counsel you to think carefully, as Volkswagen should be doing, in deciding how to develop the GTX brand from here. It'll be interesting to see how they do it.